Rahm Emanuel, you had two chances to put two murderers in jail. What do I mean by that? There was a time where the video of Laquan McDonald and Cedric Chapman came across your desk office. You looked at it, you seen it, and you saw murder in the first degree. What do? You withhold information so the public won't see it. While one of your officers by the name of Jason Van Dyke gets paid administrative leave, and while your other officer who killed Cedric Chapman stays on the police force. Let me ask you something. There are people right now doing life for marijuana, but you can sit there and cover up a murder and you keep your job as the mayor of Chicago. What is wrong with that picture? I'll tell you. Well, the fact that the mayor of Chicago covered up two murders and he still has his job. Let me ask you something. If I'm a suspect and the police know that I'm withholding information to a murder, but they know I didn't pull the trigger, they know I'm not the murderer, but I'm withholding information about that murder case, you know what they're going to do to me? Conspiracy to murder. What are they going to do to you? I'm talking about Rahm Emanuel. They're going to let you keep your job. And at worst, you'll have to eventually resign, but you won't ever see a cell. You won't ever go to jail. Why? Because you're the mayor of Chicago. And quite frankly, honestly, I label you as a terrorist, considering you allowed two murderers to walk free. And until the public finally seen it and stuff comes to light, the truth finally comes out, people are finally starting to realize just what kind of mayor you are. But it was in the best interest that you hold these videos. Oh my gosh, I'm sick of hearing that. You know what? To be honest, to be quite honest, you held this information from the public, and you know, it's not because I think the public should see it, because quite honestly, when I see stuff like this, it hurts me so bad to see that our public servants, remember, that's what they are, public servants, police officers are public servants, that our public servants, our police officers, can kill and get away with it on citizens, civilians like myself. It hurts. I don't want to see the videos. What I want is justice. What I want is when that video came across your desk, you threw both of those officers in jail where they belong. Instead, you don't want the heat to come to Chicago and you have to answer questions to what in the world is wrong with your police force. That's why you withheld this information, because you didn't want the heat that was going to come from the media. Okay? And you know what you're doing, Rahm Emanuel? You're setting a real good example that if your officers in Chicago can get away with murder, and gosh, it's been two, and my question is just how many more just while you've been in office. And this is something that's been going on in America for a long time. People with power, people like you, Rahm Emanuel, get away with more stuff and more bigger things than what a civilian will. And this is what you're doing, Rahm Emanuel. You're setting a real good example that if your officers in Chicago can get away with what they get away with, then the officers around the United States are looking at that and they're like, oh my gosh, these officers can get away with murder. What can I get away with that's illegal? Whether that be knocking someone out when they're handcuffed, holding guns to someone coming out SWAT team deep for going 10 miles over the speed limit, whether it be coming into your house because they want to with no search warrant, you're teaching the police around the United States, Rahm Emanuel, that they can get away and that they are above the law. Quite frankly, Rahm Emanuel, I label you as a murderer and I label you as a terrorist. But it's fine. You'll keep your job as the mayor of Chicago. You'll do more shady stuff. And I just want everyone to know that Rahm Emanuel, someone who covered up a murder, is the same person responsible for help running this country. And I know he's just mayor of Chicago, but I promise you, he has a lot of power and he has a lot of say-so. And that's the type of people that are running the United States of America.